Person A here, okay, and person B here, all right? A, B. When they're hurt, okay, you can blame the external world for what's going on, all right? And all you see is everything, and it allows you to become a victim. And the victimness makes your ego feel better because you're not actually doing anything wrong, all right? And all you're doing is validating everything for how you're feeling externally, okay? And what a lot of people like to do is blame the person in front of them, all right? And this person does exactly the same and becomes a victim. And you're both victims, okay, and validating yourself of how you feel. You're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to attack each other and throw it back at each other, like playing tennis, you know. This is your fault, this is your fault, this is your fault, all right? And it takes one individual to realize, actually, all I'm doing is looking in a mirror, yeah? I'm actually staring at myself. And when I actually start to take accountability and look inwards, okay, and sometimes it's by closing the eyes and meditating, okay? So you can ignore all this physically, detach from your senses, and go in. And when you go in, you start to look in the mirror properly and go, all right, cool. Well, if I believe in life's a reflection of what's going on over here, I'm seeing it from my own perception, then I'm clearly sat in victim mode then from what I'm seeing. If someone's showing me all this, then that's what's going on within here, okay? So I have to go, what's going on with me then? Do you know what I mean? Okay? And then I look deeper and I go, right, cool, so what's actually going on with me? So what I do, let's spend some time with my inner child, okay? Let's look this way. How do you feel? You just told me how you felt. You told me how your little inner child feels, okay? And when I say you're emotionally drained, it's because what you're not doing, you're not allowing this individual to have time to be seen, to be held, to be loved, to see what's going on, okay? If this person is not in check, this is not going to be in check, okay? Because this person will spill out anger, tantrums, reactions, you know, all this frustration, okay? And it takes, and we don't ever see it, we just project, and what does that create? War, okay? But if we start to just stop looking at everyone else and blaming everything else outside of us, we can start to go in and look at ourselves and deal with the war inside, you know. Let's say you're being out of character lately. What it is, your inner child is screaming for attention. It's like a kid having a tantrum. And you're throwing your dummy out. You're throwing your toys everywhere, okay, because you want to be seen. What does a cat do when he wants to stroke and you're not ignoring it? It gets louder, he has a go at you, okay? It might just attack you, yeah? That's what's going on. It wants to be seen. But you want to be seen by this individual, yeah, because you can't see self. This individual can't see you because they can't see themselves. Do you know what I mean? They've got to go inside themselves and look at their little person and see what's going on with them. That's therapy, okay? So this individual over here needs to look at self, and this needs to look at self. And when they start to nurture each other, they'll actually notice this gets better, and the war stops, okay? And what comes in is the love. But you have to fill yourself up first, and you naturally start to give it. Do you know what I mean? And then eventually you can start smiling at the mirror, and it will change. The only way that external is going to change is you start to change yourself in here, okay? Because life is a mirror, life is a reflection of what's going on within here, okay? We can get lost in the story, all right? And when this person doesn't feel good, the ego comes out to protect this individual, okay? Do you know what I mean? And everyone has their own ego, which is their protective mechanism. Is this barrier, you're not coming near me. Everyone leave me alone, yeah? I want to run away, or I'm going to fight or flight. Do you know what I mean? But you have to bring your heart out and speak to these, and it's you. Do you know what I mean? But you look at it like different people, okay? It's like speaking to a child, all right? If you saw two kids fighting each other, you know, what the hell's wrong with both of you? We're all hungry. Okay, cool, both of you go eat, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Like, you go eat yours, they'll come back together. Do you want to fight still? No, we feel better now, I feel full. Oh, okay, good, yeah. And then I've got some leftover food, that's my mind. Do you know what I mean? You start to just let go of all of this. It's detaching from this, and I know when you're getting lost in this, okay? It's really, really hard to do, though, because We have emotions. We are human. So that's why it's very important to return home and meditate and go into your eye center and detach from your senses, all your senses. And when you go in and you're detached from everything, then you can start talking to self properly from the heart. But first you must look at self, and then you can start to see the other individual. Remember though, it's important to show compassion to self. So even if you feel like you've not been the best, start showing compassion. Why have you been acting up like this? Okay? What's been going on for you? And actually, why do you get angry? Why do you get resentful? Because you're hurting inside. And you're feeling neglected, you're not feeling seen. And what you're actually probably not doing, you're not looking at your inner child and saying, actually, what's wrong with me? Okay? And that's when you have to take a breather and go, right, let me just look after myself, see what's going on, and then fill myself back up. Do I still feel these emotions towards that person? Or can I show compassion for them? Like, actually, if I felt all this and was all out of balance and was attacking and blaming the world, I feel better now, they're probably feeling the same, okay? And sometimes they might not be doing that work. So you might have to show them how, by softening, by showing love, by surrendering, by putting the sword down and saying, come on, let's talk, okay? So you do all this work and this will change, okay? But there is times in life where that doesn't change, where you've detached from it and you're not absorbing it, but you can see all the pain. And if you can see all the pain, but nothing's going on with them, and you're growing as an individual, and you're detaching from it, and you're realizing this person's really hurting inside, do I need to walk away from this for myself and to protect myself? Do you know what I mean? Okay, you have to make these big decisions. Or do you think, actually, no, I can stay in this because I know their heart is open too, and they do have these moments. So you're always helping each other by helping yourselves, or looking after your inner child, okay? And if you don't do that, you can't crack on with what you're doing. So for example, that's why I did a talk on manifestation. If you have a goal in mind, okay, it's a straight line, it's easy to get there, yeah? But what makes it all crazy is emotions, because it makes it look like this, it's like a wave, okay? And you might never get there because this never gets in check. If this gets out of balance, this is harder to reach because you start hating it, you just can't be bothered, you don't want to do it anymore, I'm tired. I don't want to do it, you're losing passion. And that's your sacral chakra, okay, pleasure, passion, all these fun things. You lose that because your emotional body isn't in check, okay? I go through this, everyone goes through this, okay? And it's noticing when to actually see it. And it might last a day, a month, a year, 10 years until you start to look in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole point of looking in the mirror, taking accountability. It's really hard stuff to do, really hard, and that's when you end up like this. And I end up like this, and you can start feeling these things, okay? And you've got to tell your little self, actually, it's all right, it's okay, okay? And also to trust the process. It is what it is. I'm going to do what needs to be done for me and follow my heart, and whatever outcome happens, it happens, okay? I know I'm following my true purpose and my true path. As much as it's going to hurt, okay, or as much as, you know what, I just need to trust this and believe and keep going. All right, but that's why I say to people, meditation is so important because it allows you to do all this work here, okay? As simple as, let's just have a breather. Let me just have a little journal, right? What the hell's going on for me? Let me just have a bit of a meditation. But it's important to ask yourself these questions as well as, what's going on for me? Take away the physical, what's it showing me? What do I need to hear right now? Actually, what do I need? And you'll probably start saying what you said, I need some love. I just need to be held, I need some warmth, I actually just want to disconnect. I don't want to do anything, I want to be. I want to relax, I want to just be present. But what I've actually done, I've got lost in the external world. But it's all right because, I'm human, this is what happens, I've got passion to do things, but I have to remember to look after self too. If I'm not balanced, how am I going to be balanced out there in this big world, okay? So this is really, really hard to do though, but you can do this. And the more you do it, you get better and better and better. Doesn't mean it's going to go away, it just means, it's going to be less. You're going to be spending less time in these dips. Do you know what I mean? You might go from a year to literally 1 week. Do you know what I mean? From there. And that's why you end up doing this in life, rather than doing this. Do you know what I mean? Okay? So that's why this is great. Coming here is like looking in the mirror, okay? Like I can't come in and say, right, you need to start doing 10 star jumps and you need to start doing 10 push-ups. It's like saying, no, you got to find the answer within. I'm just going to guide you back into the mirror, Okay? That's why I have to do this as well. I have to sit with myself and be like, right, and be completely honest with yourself and see how you're feeling. Okay? And that's why sometimes though we don't know what's going on, so it's really sit with it, really sit with it. I get, right, so what's going on with me? And if I'm too erratic, just like, let me just bring this back a bit, let me just meditate, let me just breathe. And sometimes you've got to sit with it. Let me just sit with this feeling. Like let me go sit in a chair and just let that, just let it be. Let it happen. And then when everything calms down, you'll slowly start finding the answer, okay? And you'll realize, oh, actually, I know what I've been doing. I've been so lost looking at the person in front of me, I haven't noticed myself, okay? I've been blaming everything around me, but not taking accountability for myself. When I say accountability, I've not been taking accountability for my little man, my little woman, okay? So I actually haven't been looking after this. I've been looking at all of you. I've been ignoring you. Like a baby crying, and you're just looking at everyone else's problems, but not noticing this, and getting stressed out because you're trying to help everyone. Be like, baby, stop crying. You look at it, give it some attention. You want some love. Leave all that. They're trying to show you to look at this baby. Okay, then that will calm down. You actually feel looser. You feel more relaxed. Then you'll see what's in front of you. And you notice it's not as crazy as you see it. It's your perception. Remember. Okay, so. When you can master that stuff, when I say master, get more frequent while looking after it, you'll get better at manifesting, okay? Manifestation happens all the time. You're always manifesting, but you need to guide it. That's why you got to ask yourself, what do you want in life, okay? But you'll struggle to get there if this keeps going off track and you'll start looking this way again and getting negative and going back to your past and your scripts. If you keep sitting in your story, you're never going to change. So you got to start looking within. And this is why we come here, on Saturdays. And this is why sometimes you have to go away and have a break because you have to learn something. You have to come back, okay? To go, oh, actually, because every time you guys come back here, you've grown, remember? You've always grown because you're doing the work. And the work happens out there. This is just basically you looking in the mirror for a little bit, okay? Having your time. And then you take this away with you and you go and do it on your own. Then you become your own guru. Then you realize, oh my God, so much is going on for me. The first thing people want to do is seek advice, but no, actually, let me sit with this. Let me do the work myself, see what's going on for me. And, sit and really sit with this. And that's how you're going to do it, okay? But this is literally emotionally, physically, mentally being drained because this person is completely empty. We must fill up and look at this person, okay? You can do it. And this is hard to hear now, but no one is coming to rescue you, okay? No one is coming to rescue you. The only person who's going to rescue you is yourself. And we all seek that rescue. So when these two individuals are fighting, they want to be rescued by someone to come and hold and look after them. It's not coming. It might come temporarily, but it's not coming. You have to become this person who does it for your little man over here, okay? Like I've always wanted a father. And I've always seeked this mentor when I was younger, okay? My whole life I was looking for it. I became it for this person here, because this person was scared of the world and fearful, okay? You'll start speaking to them, saying, it's all right, you can do this, we can get through this, let's go, okay? You'll start feeling the comfort that needs to be heard, okay? And this person will start feeling better, but you need to show them. It's really, really hard to do, though, because sometimes we just need someone to look after us for a minute or two, like this class, like a massage, like a therapy session, all right? But, they're going to go someday. They're never going to be here. All you've got is you in the day. So you've got to look after you and learn to speak to self. That's all when you go through fears, you talk to yourself like, come on, I got this. This is what I'm going through, by the way. I have to go through this stuff as well. So, I'm talking to you from a person who's experiencing that, okay? The more I do it, the more I'm starting to see, oh, yeah, I've got lost again. Oh, yeah, actually. But you have to sometimes go out there and trip up because it's like, how are you supposed to learn, How are you supposed to learn from that? That's why you can't always read a book, because I read a lot of books, but I can't keep reading books to find the answers, They're the guidance. The answers through my experience and go, oh, okay, now I've felt it. You have to go out and practice it. That's why meditation is a practice 24/7, so you can start doing this work here. No one talks about this stuff, though. They just try to give you answers, but these answers are going to get you nowhere because I can't give you a specific answer. You have to find it within, because everyone's story, everyone's past, everything's different. Like success, it's different for everyone else. Everyone's got to where they've got because of they've had to get over their own stuff, do you know what I mean? So, like, everyone's got on their own path and their own journey. So when you're going back to their situation, that's their journey, and they have to go through that, do you know what I mean? And they actually might go and do that and grow so much because they're really stumping their growth. But this is important, if we blame each other for our situation and don't take accountability for this, oh, I don't feel safe, neither do I, this is not working, let's leave. What happens is, they'll go meet someone else, and this will happen again, and again, and again, and again, and again, until they start looking in the mirror and saying, actually, no, it's probably not that person. They're just triggering things that are already inside of me that I haven't worked on. That's why when you're single, it's easy, because no one triggers this. You create 4 walls around this to protect it, but it doesn't grow. It just lives in comfort, okay? But until that's why when your partner is your biggest teacher, because they will teach you everything what's going on within here, because they highlight it, they poke it. But they don't do it on purpose. It's because you're trying to create a relationship, okay? But you have a better relationship with this individual if you have a better relationship with yourself, with the little person here, all right? So it's difficult stuff because we try to live in a physical world and look at everything we see through our eyes, but you actually see better when you just look at it different. That's why someone gives you the answer better than someone that's not into your situation, because they're looking at it from an observation point of view. So if you come to me, you two came to me for something that you two going through, I can give you a clearer answer because I'm not emotionally involved in your two stuff. Vice versa, if you to me had an issue emotionally, the inner child might get involved, so I can't see the answer, but you might be able to give us the answer. And sometimes the answer is, guys, just breathe, chill out, you know. Why don't you both just go and do something for yourselves and come back later and see how you feel? And then proper talk with your hearts open, okay? You must save yourself before you save anyone else. So, there you go. Does that make sense?